welcome to my program. This is Deritzystitch Fashion School. My name is Rita Okeme. Today's episode is episode 8. My special thanks goes to all of you that have subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. And I'm so sorry I wasn't able to post the video last week. If you're just joining us this week, please hit that bell button so that you always get a new video that we're posting. And if you want to join us and make sure you start from episode 1 if you're just a beginner in fashion. Please, if not, you're going to get confused and even you'll be discouraged, and I don't want you to feel that way. And if you're confused, please, there's a comments box there. Always drop your comment and I'll reply. And today's episode, we're going to be talking about cutting a bandless straight skirt. Yes, another straight skirt. But this time around, it doesn't have a band. You're going to cut the straight skirt. You're going to cut the band included when you're when you're cutting the skirt on this thing. So that's what we're going to go to sketch. Like I said, when you want to sew, you have to sketch first before you start cutting your fabric. So we're going to sketch what we're going to sew today. A bandless straight skirt. It has a zipper in front. So that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to sketch it. Okay, like I said, we're trying to sketch a bandless straight skirt. The first thing you do is to draw a line, just to guide you. Just to guide you. This first line is where the waist will be. The second line is where the hip will be. And the third line is where the knee will be. Just to guide you. So we're going to sketch. It doesn't have a band. So we're going to start here with the waist. Let's just give a mark here where the waist is going to start from. And you can see if we go down like this, the hip's supposed to come out a little. So you draw, you just take note of it. You take note of it, the same out. Then when you're coming down, go in a little and a little. So you can first perforate, so you see if you're actually getting it. Come down a little here, don't just go straight, you don't have pointed. You come down a little. And we also perforate. It's forming something. Then you have to go down. I've done a sketch to, if it's not okay, I can just clean up, then I'll now do it before I start drawing the real line. So here, this is actually my skirt here. Since it doesn't have band, I'm actually going to cut the band when I'm cutting the skirt. So I'm going to join the band from here. This is not band, this is just a cut here. If you like, you will not add this cut, but I want to add it because it gives beauty to it. And then my zipper is here in the middle. from top to bottom. That's where my zipper is. So this is my skirt, and it has a dart here. It has a dart. So let's join it now that we have dotted it. So we join it. You can use your ruler if you like, so that you can a little bit straight. Indicate it that is a zipper, not just a line. And this is a dart. This is a dart. Then you put a line here. This does to add a beauty to the dress, to the skirt. It's not a band, it's a bandless skirt. You put the cut. You see when we make the cut how it's going to be. So this is our skirts that we've just drawn. This is your zipper. Now, this zipper has a lock. It has a lock here, and it also has a lock up here. So both, you can actually open this down if you want it to show your legs, and you can also zip down if you want, but it's going to be a way of you to be able to move your leg freely. So you just have to open it to your own taste, wherever you know that you want to open it to. So now we have done this, we have to draw the back. Always make sure you draw the back of your dress. It reminds you of what exactly you expect when you are cutting the style at the back. So the same thing we did, we try and find out again the waistline. Then we come out a little here for the hip, come out a little. And then we come here, go in a little, and then we go in a little again. So what do we do? Like I said, we perforate. First of all, it helps us to know our guideline. So the back, we're gonna draw the waist again. Then the line extended to the back too. And then there is no zipper at the back, just a that's at the back. So let's join this line very well carefully. So that's it. So this is your skirt, your bandless straight skirts. It has a zipper in front. This is the front side. This is the front, and this is the back of the skirt. This is your that, and is a bandless skirt. And I told you people that whenever you want to make a skirt, there are 4 basic measurements that you will require. And we're going to sketch it down here so that you're going to see how we're going to, incorporate these measurements to our fabric and will result to this. So the first one, you need the waist. Abbreviation, just use W. And then you have the hip. Abbreviation H. You have the knee length. Abbreviation, just use this, KNL. Then you have the skirt length. You use SKL. So we're going to write down the measurements. The measurements we require for this is, actually the waistline is 26. And the hip is 36 and half. And next is skirt length. SKL. That's 26. The knee length. KNL. 19 and a half. Okay, that's this. This is the measurements we require. My fabric, this is the Ankara fabric, our African wax. That's what I'm going to be using for the skirts. So already folded this fabric into 2. In this, I'm going to cut out what I need. But you have to work out some little formula before you get out your fabric from your large fabric. You get out the quantity of fabric you need from your large fabric. So what do? For a bandless skirt, you use the actual measurements of the skirt length to get the skirt length plus 5. So I'm going to add 5. You can add 6, depending on the fabric, how the fabric responds to the body. Some fabric, when you are wearing it, it gets to fold, or even doing sewing, it will be shrinking. Some of this Ankara, that's what happens to them. So you have to be careful so that at the end of the day, you still get the right measurements you are expected to get. So on the waist, we're on the that's the horizontal part. The horizontal part is actually this way, while this is the length, which is the vertical part. So I'm going to use the larger part of the body to get the width. The width is the horizontal part of it, while the vertical part of it is the length of the skirt. So I've gotten this skirt length already. I will use 26 plus 6 and I will get 31. That's what I'm going to cut out from this fabric for the length. Then the width, I'm going to use the larger part of the body, and the larger part of the body on this skirt measurement is the hip. The hip is 36 and a half. So I'm going to add 6. It's constant for me anytime I'm making a straight skirt. I add 6 to it. So when I add 6 to 36 and a half, I'm going to get 42 and a half. So that 42 and a half, I will further divide it into 2 so that the back side I will have 21 quarter and the front side 21 quarter plus 2 inches because of the zip allowance. So we're going to cut the front. It's going to be 23 quarter, while the back 21 quarter. So when we get out our fabric from here, we'll now shape according to the straight skirts. So let's continue. So this is the top of my skirt. That's the waistline where I'm going to use. But I want to cut out this first, this edges, the border, because I won't want it to show on the skirt. So I'll cut it away. So I'll go ahead to measure my skirt now. So I already folded it into 2 somehow. It's already folded into 2. So one side is going to be the front and one side is going to be the back. Now please, when you are cutting your skirt, remember to use the back face of this fabric so that you wouldn't stain your fabric after sewing, because of the chalk lines and everything. So let's go on. So I'm going to measure 21 quarter, then 23 quarter. So the length of the skirt is 31. So we have added the 26 plus 5. This is your 21 quarter and this is your 23 quarter for the front. And use your ruler to join them. Now, if you don't have a ruler, let me just, because of the beginners, you don't need to use a ruler. All you need to use your tape. Measure your 21 quarter. You'll be marking your tape you'll be moving little by little if you don't have a ruler. But try get a ruler, it will make your work easier. You just be taking notes of it like this. Until you get to the points. The same thing, the length again, you do the same. Both of them are the same length, so 31. You'll be moving gradually like that until you grab me the other line. So by the time you meet this line, then so we can now cut away this first one, the remaining one, so that we'll get the back. And cut away the 2 inches, so that we'll get the So now I have what I'm going to be working with. I'll further separate them here. So I've separated the two fabric. Now I have this is the back. Please take note of which one that is the back face, because so that when you are sewing you'll be able to identify them. So we're going to cut the back side. Like I said, the upside, the waistline, you remove 2 inches from the waist and you have 24. And when we divide 24 into 4, we'll have 6. Then we go to the hip side. Hip side is actually 8 inches normal for adults. But because we're going to sew half inch here, we're going to sew half plus half where the line is. That's 1.5. So we're going to add 1.5 to this 8 and we'll have 9.5. That's where my hip will come from. So this is the back side. So the back side now. We go to the hip divided by 4, you have the hip divided by 4, you have the hip is actually 36.5 divided by 4, you have 9.18 plus 1. Then you go to the knee is 19.5. So the knee is 19.5. Remember we added 1.5 to this upside. Because of this, I'm going to sew here and the band again, not the band this time, where I added line. So this 19.5, I'm going to go up by 4. Normally, if you want to make a straight skirt, you go up by 4, and we'll have 15.5. But because of this 1.5 we also added on the hip, I will also add it here. That is 1.5. So I now have 17 as the knee. So whatever I have here, I'm going to go in by 1.5. I actually have 10.18 here, so I'm going to go in by 1.5. So it's going to be 1.5 here. I'm going to get the knee. So you just join it. Try to join it. If you don't have it, if you don't have a ruler, you can use your tape. Just take your time and join it. Then whatever you have here, just take it down. This is 8.5, 1/8. Join it. So I've now joined this waist side to the hip. So make sure you always raise your waist up by 1 and down, your hip, up by 1 and down by 1, so that you can link them. It will not point on the hip. You have something like a curve. So you come over here, and sorry, this waist I is supposed to add sewing allowance, that is +1 box. So I mark it from here. Mark it from here to join here. Now I'm going to measure 4 inch. After sewing this upside, I'm going to get 3 inches. So this for 1 inch is actually for sewing allowance. I'm marking my 4 inch. You can see I'm marking it. Follow it and mark it. So when I get to these points, I will actually stop. Now remember, there's a dart on the sketch that we drew. So we're going to take this line just up as it's coming with curve. Just take it like that, the way it's coming. Don't take it down, just go as if you are still going with your curve. So all you need to do is to add extra 1 below this downside for that allowance. So now you're not going to link this place to the hip side. You'll be coming down to link it to the hip side. Don't increase it. You will join it to the line of the hip. That's the darts that you're going to be adding to this thing. Then this upper side, you will add 1/2 inch, because by the time you start sewing, you will find out that this one will be less than this place. So you just add 1/2 inch to this up. Then link it to the waist again. You link it to the waist. So this is the back side. We're going to cut it out. Remember, when you are cutting your listing, don't cut in. Sometimes if you want to make it fashionable, you can actually remove this, add another fabric to just make it lovely, more beautiful. You can remove this and add another fabric. That's it. So let's cut the front, the back side, the front of the skirt too. Okay, this is the front of the skirt. Remember, there's a zip in front, so we're going to mark out 1 inch away because of the zip. And pin it too. So that's it. Once we are done pinning it, let's use this place as the waist side because it's very straight. So we now measure. Like I said, you divide the waist by 4. You remove 2 first because of the band you're going to, the waistline you're going to sew, and you will have 24 divided by 4. You have your 6 plus sewing allowance 1 inch. You have it. Now we're going to take it to the hip line. It's supposed to be 8 because of this line we're joining here, and the one we're going to sew up, we'll add extra 1.5, and we have 9.5. So the hip is 36.5. We have 9/1/8 plus sewing allowance, that is 1 inch. So we're going to take it down by 1 and take it up by 1, so that you'll be able to get a curvy part of the hip, not pointed. So I go to the knee length. The knee length is 19.5. So because we normally go up for easy movements for the knee, so we go up by 4 inch. So when we go up, we have 15.5. But because of this, we're going to join again. We'll add 1.5 to it. So I'll take it 1.5. That's 17 now. So whatever I have here, which is 10/1/8, I'm going to go in by 1.5 here. So this is 10/1/8 plus 1 and plus half. So where I met here, T junction, I'm going to put my tape there and just join. If you notice, between the waist and the hip, I didn't use tape there. I use my hands to make the curve. In case you don't have the, things that you will use, your tailoring things, you need to use your hands. So that's how to get it. So whatever you have here, we're going to take it. I have 8.5 1/8. I'm going to take it down. 8.5 by 8. If you have a ruler, you use. You don't have a ruler, use your tape. I don't want to be using my ruler always because I know some people don't have these things. And if you try to use all these things, the beginner will give up. Probably because you don't have the money to buy it yet. You sew until I get it. And who says you cannot sew immediately? If you have chalk, like I told you, basic things, you have chalk, you have your tape, you have your scissors and your fabric. Who says you cannot cut your fabric? You can. With or without all those things, you can. So now I'm done shaping the body, but there's something else I'm going to do. My line, I'm going to add it. Remember, 4 inch. We did that at the back too, but this front one is a little bit different, because I normally curve the front of my skirt, so that there won't be excess on your tummy. So it just fits, no folding on your tummy side. Most times when people make skirts, you will notice that the people have to drag it so up. You don't need to do that. I will help you by cutting off that excess. So I usually remove 2 inches on my waist. I cut it off in front. Now I'm going to move the 2 inches in a curvy way. Look at this place. I will minus the sewing allowance that I added from there, that I will join my curve and make my curve. So this is the curve which I've made. And now from this curve, now I start from the curve, not from here. I start measuring my 4 inches. So I'll follow this line and measure my 4 inches. Following it. Alright. So I've joined my 4 inch. Remember that it has darts below. the dart did not get to the upper side, so I'm going to draw my line to get to the edge. Just follow this curve as it's coming, as if I'm continuing the curve. I just go get to the edge of this place, so I will get my dart. I'll add my 1 inch. So when I get my 1 inch, I'm still going to go and join to my hip side like that. So this is my dart allowance which I've added. Then this upside, just add 1/2 inch, because by the time you cut off this place, it's not going to be equal again. It's going to, because you can see as it's going up is reducing, and this one, as this one is coming down, is increasing. So you can even do an experiment and try to see if it will rhyme, but it's basic for me. You add the 1/2 inch, link it to the waist area where you started from. So you can see it's what I'm doing. So I'm going to shape out this now. I'm done with it. Make sure you always cut after outside your chalk line. And then this is my curve. Are you seeing it? This is it. And open up the zip area. This is your front skirt. So I'm trying to open up the zip area right now. So now that we are done, we're going to cut out the lining of this dress. We're going to make sure that the lining of this dress is also like this too, because we're going to give it a full lining. So the skirt, going to put a full lining on the skirts. So while making your skirts, just know that the lining has to be shorter in length than your main fabric. So you can short the length by 2 inches. Actually, I'll be folding this by 2 inches, but I don't need to remove 4 from here, because by the time I will sew it, I need this lining to be relaxed inside. I don't want to be dragging the skirt up when I will join it. So I'll just reduce it by 2 inches. You can join it so that you will not waste there's no point wasting your fabric. So you can just cut this piece. So you get it done faster. Your lining, you have to add like 1/2 inch. So let's cut this one, the back one. And that's how you get your lining done. Once you have gotten your pattern from your fabric, sometimes you can even use your lining to cut. I prefer to use the fabric to cut because I need to add excess on the lining. If I cut with the lining, I will not be able to get the right measurement, so I prefer to cut on my fabric. Except if my fabric is not much, then I have to risk it. I will add all this allowance. When I finish cutting it, then I'll trace it out. So now tie your fabric together. Make sure you don't mistake anyone. Tie it like this and put them together. Now we've come to the end of the program. I hope you enjoyed every bit of it. I did. Please, if you're just joining for the first time, remember to hit that button, share and like so that other people will join, and also subscribe and get the message. Please, thank you for watching. I'm so grateful. So what do I say now? Bye. See you next time.